communities, right? As I told you, by default communities will never be carried forward within BGP updates without enabling BGP to to carry communities in outgoing BGP updates, right? So for that purpose, I told you that there is a command, like for an example, Neo router is advertising some prefixes towards British Telecom with some communities. So first of all, we have to enable this feature of carrying communities within BGP updates, right? So for that purpose, I'll be saying 8127 and neighbor is 80.1.1.1, and then I have to say send community. And let's say that I want to send community standard, right? Standard community, then I'll be saying standard community. Fine. Now if you want to add community to with your prefixes, then this is the command to add your to add communities in prefixes, like for an example, for all prefixes we want to add community number 10, right? Tag number 10. So for that purpose, you will be saying route map, and let's say its name is com permit 10. By default match all is there, we don't need to match anything. We can directly say set community, right? And let's say it is 10, right? So now for all prefixes it will set community 10. Now go to router BGP 8127 and then say neighbor 80.1.1.1 and route map name is what? Com, in which direction? Out. Say do clear IP BGP star out. Now you go to British Telecom device, British Telecom router. You must receive all those prefixes coming from Neo router with the community 10. You can open and you can see them 100.0, and you can see now community 10 is coming in all prefixes, right? Even you can open 101, we can open 102, we can open 103. You understand? And here I'm not using those predefined communities right now, because those predefined communities will be used for the purpose of route filtering only, right? But here I just wanted to use these communities, these standard communities, to match my prefixes, right? So now I told you that by default BGP will strip this attribute from outgoing updates, right? So whenever British Telecom will be giving an update to Sprint US or R5 or R6, then it will simply remove this attribute from all outgoing updates, right? So if we move on R5 or R6 or on Sprint US, we will never find this community. So now we can see show IP BGP 181.168.100.0. You can look at here. Nothing like that. It is not receiving any community with it, because on British Telecom we didn't define this command that sent community standard, right? So on BT as well, I have to configure these commands. Like I have to say router BGP 35500 neighbor is 201.100.100.6 send community standard, right? Similarly, I have to say neighbor 200.105.100.5 send community standard. You understand? And then after we can also say neighbor 101.1.1 and send community standard, right? So we can configure all these commands over here. You can see that, right? So you can say send community, and all these send communities. I have configured this send community command for all these three neighbors, like Sprint US for R5, for R6, right? And now we can move on R5 and R6. First of all, let's move on R6. We can first of all say clear IP BGP star in, so that it will force its neighbors to retransmit all the updates, right? So after that, you open this prefix, you must get that community 10. So this time you have started to receive those prefixes with community 10 on all, on R6 as well, as you must get them onto R5 as well. So now you say no CDP run, say clear IP BGP star in. So IP BGP, check it out. So IP BGP 191.168.100.0. You can check it out here now that it is receiving this prefix from British Telecom, right? And of course from Sprint US. So when it is receiving this prefix from British Telecom, then only it is receiving community 10. While it is receiving this prefix from Sprint US, then it is not receiving this community, just because of like we didn't configure that send community command onto sprint us for neighbor R5. So sprint is not giving any community to R5, whereas BT is giving that community along with that prefix to its neighbor R5 and of course R6. Right. So this is the way to force or to configure BGP to add communities in its outgoing updates. Then after, we will never get it on R1 as well, right? You can see that we are receiving all those prefixes, but if we open them 100.0, we will not get any community in all these prefixes, right? If we want to get this community onto R1 as well, then we have to move on R5 and R6, both of them, and then we have to say router BGP 65500 neighbor 150.1.1 send a community standard, right? Similarly, I have to configure command on R5 like router BGP 65500 say neighbor 150.1.1 and then send a community standard. Then let's move back again on R1 and say clear IP BGP star in. Once you will configure this command, now it will force its neighbors to retransmit all the updates, and once again you must be able to get all of the prefixes in its BGP table, and then you can try to open any one prefix. So it is receiving it from R5, it is also receiving it from R6, and you can see community 10 is there, right? And we added this community onto NEOC router. Now let's say that if someone else tries to, if someone else wants to add a community by themselves, right? Like BT is an ISP, right? So BT is working as an ISP, so now BT wants to add some different community value, right, onto same prefixes. So yes, it is possible, right? BT can also configure community. So let's move on BT now, and we can say that for an example okay, do one thing, let's advertise some prefixes from BT as well, right? So we can create some loopbacks over here, loopback 100.1.1 on BT, right? And I'll be advertising 100.1.2.1 as well, and then loopback 3 I'll be taking 3.1 as well, you understand? And then I'll be advertising them into BGPs, right? So I'll be saying network 100.1.0 mask is going to be 245.0, and then of course I have to advertise 2.0, and then finally I'll advertise 3.0. After advertising all of them into BGP, you will see BGP table of it. Yes, it is advertising all of them. So it will be giving all these prefixes to its neighbor R5, R6, Sprint US as well as NEOC router, because right now BT is having 4 different neighbors, right? Now what I want that BT should advertise all these prefixes towards R5 and R6 with community value 20, right? So this time just give me a moment please. Fine. So say route map once again, com permit 10 set community 20 for all prefixes, right? Fine. Router BGP 35500, its neighbor is 201.100.100.6. route map name is com in which direction? Out neighbor 200.105.100.5. route map name is com in which direction? Say to clear IP BGP star out. And I have already configured send community command for R5 and R6, both of them. Let's move on R6 now. So IP BGP must receive all of them, right? So now you can open, so IP BGP 192.168.100.0, right? So it is coming now with community value 20, but that's wrong. It has replaced existing one. This BT has replaced existing communities, right? So it has replaced existing community. That is not correct way, right, to add community. So we can move, if we want that BT should add its own community, but also it should not replace existing one. For that purpose, when you configure this route map, here some other options are available. In place of saying set community 20, say set community additive and then 20. What does it mean? That it will keep existing one, but along with that it will add this community 20. So this time you will see that 20 additive. You understand? So this time come outside, say clear IP BGP start out. So previously when it was sending those updates towards R6 and R5, it was replacing them, right? But this time it is appending. It's not prepending, it is appending. In AS path list, ASs will always prepend, but this time in case of communities it will always append. So it has appended 20, right? But if you open show IP BGP 100.1.0 only, then you will get only 20, because those prefixes were advertised from BT only, right? They were not coming from New York router, because community number 10 was allocated by New York router only, right? So this time if you move on R1, you must be able to get all of them. Yes, 100 prefixes, 192 prefixes are available. If you try to open 100.0, 1020, both of them are there. Then show IP BGP 100.1.0, check it out, only 20. So this is the way to propagate your prefixes with communities, right? So send community is there, then with the help of route map you will be adding it. Set community command is there, set additive command is there, right? So all these options are available. Fine. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you that how will you be able to match your prefixes with the help of communities, because ultimately we have to use these communities to match prefixes only, right? Like previously we were using an ACL, standard ACL, extended ACL prefix list to match our prefixes, right? But after starting using this community, then we will start to match our prefixes with the help of their community, which means tag values, right? And then after you can utilize, you can use them to perform route filtering or to perform path manipulation, anything, right? But there is only one role of having communities in BGP, is just to match your prefixes. That's the only uses of having communities in BGP. Fine. So basically this community feature in BGP allows us to perform to perform path selection, manipulation, or route filtering with more granularity, right? With more granularity. So this is the uses of this community. Fine. So now we have to learn that how can we match prefixes with the help of community values, right? So to match our prefixes with the help of community values, we have to understand community lists. We have to understand community lists. Community lists are same as like prefix list and access list. In access list and prefix list, you are calling directly your prefixes, but in community lists, you will be matching your community values, your tag values. You understand? So if you talk about the community list, I'm not talking about communities now. I'm talking about community lists, and community lists are same as like prefix list or an access list. The only difference between access list, prefix list, and the community list is, like in prefix list and ACLs, you calls prefixes, but here in community lists, you will be calling community values, right? So we are having two types of community lists available in BGP. First, I think it is standard and expanded. Standard community list and expanded community list, right? In standard community list, you can call only and only community, normal community, right? But in expanded, you can use regular expressions. In expanded, you can use regular expressions. Hello. Fine. So we are having two types of community lists, standard and expanded. Fine. Let's start with standard community lists. So to create community list, it is very simple: IP community list, and then you have number as well as named, same as an access list, right? So from 1 to 99 it is a standard community list, and from 100 to 500 it is expanded community list, right? So First of all, we will learn about the standard community list, and then after I will go for expanded community lists. So IP community list, let's say 1. Now you want to deny or permit? What do you want actually? Let's say I want to deny all those prefixes which are coming with community 20. I get my point? Or forget about deny or permit or filter, whatever it is. I just want to match all those prefixes which are coming with community 20 only. Which are coming with community 20 only. So we want to match all those prefixes now. So IP community list to 1, and permit, because we want to match prefixes, right? So we have to say permit. We are not denying anything. Otherwise here you will always find two statements, deny and permit, same as like an ACL or prefix list. So here IP community list to 1, and then I'll be saying permit, and then which community? Internet, local AS, no advertise, with which community prefixes are coming or prefixes are available in its BGP table. Of course 20, right? We just want it to match all those prefixes which are coming with community value 20, right? So I have to say 20 here. Fine, that's all. Now you see, do show IP BGP for all prefixes, its best path is via R5. Now for all those prefixes which are coming with community 20, for them I want it to define its best path via R6. For all those prefixes which are coming with community value 20, for all those prefixes I want it to define its best path via R6. So I have already matched all those prefixes with using community list. Now you do one thing, router BGP 65500, you understand? Sorry, not router BGP. First of all, create route map, because with the help of route map only you can change your attributes, right? So I'll be saying route map, and let's say I want to change weight value. So weight permit 10, right? Then I'll be saying match community, and then community list number. That was it's not community number, it's a community list number, right? I think I created community list 1, right? So community list 1, match community list 1. Now say set weight, higher weight, right? Let's make it 100, right? And then all other prefixes must also allowed with the default attribute. So I'll be creating one another statement for the same route map with permit with higher sequence number, right? So permit 20, right? And now via R6 we have to define higher weight, right? So we have to apply this route map for neighbor R6. So router BGP 65500, say neighbor 150.1.6.1, route map name is weight. In which direction? In, because all these prefixes are incoming prefixes, right? Now check it out, do show IP BGP, check it out. That for all hundreds prefixes, its best path has been defined via in all. You know why? Because 20 community 20 is available in all prefixes. Even you can check it out. Show IP BGP 100.1.0. Yes, it is there. And show IP BGP 192.168.100.0. It is also there. So it will match all those prefixes in which community 20 is there, right? Now let's say that I just wanted to manipulate this path selection only for those prefixes which are coming with community value 20. So for that purpose I just need to modify my community list only, right? So you see, show run pipe section IP community list, right? So let's check its community list, and I'll be modifying that only. So I'll be saying no, and in place of it I'll say IP community list to 1 permit what 10 only, right? And route map will still remain same. But the point is, in route map I have called my community list, right? So you see, do show run pipe section route map, it must exist there. Yes, match community 1, right? So it is still there. Now you say clear IP BGP star in. Now you check its BGP table, show IP BGP, check it out. Now it would be effective only for 192's prefixes. You see, weight has got modified only for those prefixes which were coming with community value 10. So which means that we are able to match our prefixes with the help of community value. So this is the way to change, to to create your standard community list, right? And let's say that you want to perform route filtering now instead of performing path manipulation, right? So I'm gonna to remove this route map for this neighbor now, router BGP 65500. I remove this route map now, right? So say now no route map, and that is no IP community list. One. Show IP community list. Now say clear IP BGP star in show IP BGP. Check it out. Got it? Fine. So now we want to filter all those prefixes which are coming with community value 10. It's very simple. See, so IP community list 10. This time I'm taking this list number 10, right? Deny with to whom, which are coming with community value 10 itself. See, oh my god. Okay, fine. Make it community list 5. Deny all those prefixes which are coming with community value 10. Then IP community list 5 permit wait. What is task? We wanna filter all those prefixes. We wanna we wanna perform route filtering now, and wants to filter all those prefixes which are coming with community value 10. So it is very simple. It is same as like ACL and prefix list, right? So say IP community list 5 permit which are coming with the tag value 10, and then create one route map. Route map name is, let's say, filter, and deny, right? First of all, deny statement 10, say match community, and which one? 5, right? So all those prefixes which are coming with community number 10 will be denied by this route map, right? And to allow all others, say permit with higher sequence number, right? 20. So say now router BGP 65500, say neighbor 150.1.5.1 route map name is filter in which direction? In. And similarly I will apply it for 6.1. Then say do clear IP BGP star in, do show IP BGP. Check it out. Does it have any prefix which were containing community value 10? So in this way you can perform route filtering, right? Ultimately path manipulation and route filtering is done by route map. You are using here communities just to match your prefixes. You will not, you are not required to look at the prefixes and all these things, right? You are not required to create an ACL or prefix list or something like that, right? So this is an advantage of configuring communities in our network, right? So now I'm gonna to remove it once again from here, and I'll be saying no and say do clear IP BGP star in show IP BGP. Check it out. Once again it has received all of the prefixes, right? And it is having all of them in its BGP table. Understood? Fine. After all, what will I do now? Let's learn that how to create expanded community lists. Expanded community list, right? And before going to understand expanded community list, we have to understand regular expressions. We have to understand regular expressions, right? So to understand regular expressions, it's quite simple. Like This is called what? This symbol is known as not cap. Hey, like this. What? Caret, exactly, caret. This is caret, right? So if caret is there, so you will be calling it as a caret. Caret means start of the line. We can say beginning of the line, right? It's kind of HTML language, right? In HTML language also you use all these regular expressions. So caret, which means beginning of the line, dollar, end of the line, underscore, anywhere in the beginning of the line or in the end of the line or in the middle of the line, anywhere, right? Dot, asterisk, it's kind of any, it means any, dot, asterisk, which means all, right? So let's start to use them. Even I will advertise some prefixes from Sprint US as well. Some of the prefixes, right? Like interface loopback 1, and it is having, let's say, 50.1.1 loopback 2. Fine. A router BGP 21545 network 50.1.0 mask value is going to be /24, and I'll advertise some prefixes from customer end as well. Like I'll move on R5 and interface loopback to 1, and IP address is 192.168.50.1 loopback 2, and let's say it is 51, and router BGP is 65500 network 192.168.50.0 and of course 51. So IP BGP, check it out. So these prefixes are available, right? Fine. Move on R1 now, and on R1 I'll be showing you that how can we use regular expressions. So very first thing, this time I'm gonna to use this regular expression. See, in BGP you can use regular expressions on multiple places, right? So this time I'm gonna to tell you that how can we use regular expressions to check our BGP table. We can check our BGP table with using regular expressions, and in production you will always be using only and only regular expressions to check your BGP table. If you are having like lakhs of prefixes in your BGP table and you want to see some of the prefixes which are coming from a specific AS, or which are coming with a specific community value, so I'll tell you that how can we check all of them, right? So you see, through IP BGP we are having all these prefixes available in its BGP table. Now we want to see, first of all, I'll let you know that how can we check BGP table based on community value, right? So let's say show IP BGP community and then community value. Let's say I just wanted to see all those prefixes which are coming with community value 10 only, right? So it will show you only those prefixes which are coming with community 10. It is very simple to see it, right? If you want to see all those prefixes which are coming with community value 20, so these are the prefixes which are coming with community value 20. Understood? So all of them are coming with community value 20. Fine. And then after we want to see all those prefixes. I mean, like you can see that we have seen that which are coming with some community values, right? With any community value, right? Then after this is all about the I mean we we checked out our BGP table based on their community value, but this time we are going to use regular expressions. Remember that if you are going to use regular expressions to check your BGP table, then it will be looking at AS path list only. Remember, if you are going to check BGP table with using regular expressions, then it will be looking at AS path list only. Means based on AS path list information, you can check your BGP table with using regular expressions. For an example, I wanna see all those prefixes which were originated from AS 8127 NEOC router, right? A NEOC router is running AS 8127. So I'm on R1, and on R1 I wanna check all those prefixes which were originated from AS 8127. You understand? So to check it out, show IP BGP regular expression, and now tell to BGP that okay, I wanna see only those prefixes which are originated by 8127. Now you know very well that for AS path AS path prependition will be performed, right? So rightmost AS will always be that AS which will be originating your, which means in AS path list, last AS number inside AS path list, last end of the line must end with AS 8127. You understand? It can start with any number, right? AS path list can start with any AS number but will end with 8127. So what can we say? That it is starting with any number. Forget about it. Any number. Okay, yes. Let me show you. Fine. Underscore 8127 must be in the end of the line. So after it, I'll be saying $. So now it will display all those prefixes which are having AS 8127 in the end of the AS path list. Press enter. Right? Skip. Right? So 8127. Now you wanna see all those prefixes which are advertised by our own AS, which do not have nothing, which do not have anything inside the AS path list, which are having blank AS path list actually, right? So for that purpose, you can say show IP BGP regular expression, and in the beginning of the line caret, in the end of the line $. Fine. We didn't mention any number, right? So what does it mean that it is blank? It must be blank. So we advertised these two prefixes in same AS, right? If you want to see all the prefixes, dot asterisk, it is something like show IP BGP, right? So you will not be using it. Then you want to see all those prefixes which are coming from AS 21545. 21545. So show IP BGP regular expression start from 21545, and in the end of the line, if you want 21545 itself, it is starting from 21545 and also ending with 21545, which means I want to see only those prefixes which are coming from this particular AS only and have not traversed any other AS. So in the end of the line, $. If you want to see Fine. So we can look at BGP table in this manner. Then we want to see all those prefixes which are having AS2145 anywhere in the AS path list. Anywhere. We want to see all those prefixes which are containing AS21545 anywhere inside AS path list. Enter. So previously it was showing me only via R5 because via R5 it was receiving prefixes which were having only 21545 inside the AS path list. But this time it have started to show me these prefixes via R6 as well, because via R6 it is having 35500 along with 21545, right? But this time I said that wherever it is having 21545, whether it is in the beginning of the line, in the end of the line, or in the middle of the line, it must display us. Right? Hopefully you have understood these four. Only four regular expressions are there which are really important to understand, and that's enough actually to know about them. Fine. So this time I used these regular expressions to look at BGP table. So in enterprise network, usually you will be using these regular expressions to check your BGP table, right? So next time, now I'm gonna to use regular expressions to create community list, expanded community lists. Fine. So IP BGP, all these prefixes are coming here. I wanna match all those prefixes which are having leftmost community as 10. Leftmost community as 10, or what do you say? Rightmost 20. Then all of them will match with that statement, right? So let's say that we want to match all those prefixes which are having their first community as 10 inside community list, right? Because community list is coming along with prefix. Multiple communities are coming in that community list. Community list is same as AS path list, right? So here uses of regular expression will be same as like we used during checkout BGP table, right? Fine. So let's create community list now. IP community list, right? IP community list, and let's say its name is, okay, not name actually, number. And if you wanna create named, then say expanded and then allocate any name. Let's say I wanna allocate now test. Deny or permit? Because we are using it to match prefixes, right? You have to say permit. To match anything, you have to always use this permit keyword, whether you are creating an access list or prefix list or community list, whatever it is, right? So IP community list expanded test permit, what? Which is starting from 10, ending with anyone or only 10? Tell me. You wanna match all those prefixes which are coming with community 10 only, then $, but you will not get anything. You will not find any single prefix which are coming with community 10 only, because we have added community number 20 on BT, British Telecom. Prefixes are coming from New York router with community 10, and then on BT we added community 20. So there is no prefix available in the BGP table of R1 which are coming with right. IP community list expanded test permit. So I have to say underscore, but must be, very first community must be 10, and it was appending, right? It was appending, so after 10 it was having 20, so it will match all those prefixes which are coming with community 10, right? So when I look at BGP table with using regular expression, it was looking at AS path list, right? But this time I'm using these regular expressions for community lists, right? So this time it will be looking at community list, not at AS path list. It will not be looking at AS path list. It will be looking at community list only, and accordingly it will match your prefixes because we are creating here community list. However, operation of regular expressions will remain same, right? So fine. Then create, let's say that I wanted to define their best path via R6 now, right? So I'll create my route map LP permit 10 match community is what? Test, you understand? And then set local preference is what? Let's say 200, and then to allow all others with same permit 20 hard sequence number, right? And router BGP 65500 neighbor 150.1.6.1 route map name is LP in which direction, because all these prefixes are incoming prefixes from R6, right, onto R1. Do show IP BGP, check it out. Its local preference for all those prefixes is now 200, which are coming with, and you can open those prefixes, right? So IP BGP 192, 168, 100.0, they are coming with 1020, so it is starting with 10, and we matched all those prefixes which are where community list is starting with 10. Understood? So in this way we can create expanded ACL, sorry, community list. Fine. Apart from it, you can also use expanded community list to perform route filtering as well, right? Okay. Right, I have removed it now, and you see clear IP BGP star in do show IP BGP, check it out, and you will see that once again its best path is via R5 for all prefixes, right? This time I want to filter all those prefixes which are coming with the community 10. I want to filter all of them, right? So I'll be saying no route map is LP and no IP community list expanded, and that is, I've removed it, right? And see, show IP community list. Is there any community list? Yes, there is a standard community list, right? So I don't need it anymore. Even I can delete it. No IP community list 5, right? So now show IP, I mean IP community list. This is IP community list, right? And then its name is, let's say, expanded filter. Its name is filter this time, right? Deny. We wanna deny all those prefixes which are coming with community 10 in the beginning of the line, right? Whoever is having community 10 in the beginning of the community list must be filtered. So I have denied them, right? Then IP community list expanded with same name, filter, permit all others, right? Permit dot asterisk, permit any. This is the meaning by any, right? Dot asterisk will specify any. Now after it, go to route map, name is MB permit 10 match community, and community list name was, so only those prefixes will be permitted by the route map which are permitted by and which are denied by community list itself will not be permitted by route map, because route map will permit only those prefixes which are matching with this statement, and to match it is mandatory to specify permit keyword. Do not create any other statement of the route map, because if you create any other statement, then all others will also permit it and your objective will not be solved, right? So now you see router BGP 65500, and I'm gonna do say neighbor 150.1.5.1, route map name is NB. In which direction? In. All prefixes are incoming prefixes, right? So say now do clear IP BGP star in, check do show IP BGP. Is there any 192's prefix? Because they were coming with community value 10. You see, there is nothing like that. So in T-shoot they can play with community list with you. So you have to be very, very, very careful whether they have denied prefixes inside the community list, whether they have denied them inside route map. So if they asked you to permit them, then accordingly you have to do that, right? You have to modify either route map or. So in this way, like now I want a 192's prefixes available on R1, right? So I don't have them, and I know that okay, then I will check that why all of them are not coming over here. So I will check where on R5 and R6 whether they are having or not, right? So because R1 is having IBGP pairing with R5 and R6, right? So R5 is having them, right? 192's prefixes are there. Then I will check whether R5 is advertising these prefixes towards R1 or not. So IP BGP neighbor 150.1.1 and then advertise route. So it is giving all of them, see, which means there is no problem at the end of R6. R6 is advertising all those prefixes towards R1, which means that problem is existing at the end of. Then we will check configuration of router 1, right? So run pipe section router BGP. Now you will come to know that one route map is configured over here, right? Route map in direction, which means that it might be that it is filtering incoming routes, right? So then you will open your route map, show route map. You will see that okay, inside route map filter, sorry, not filter, it is NB, and they are using community list with the name of filter, right? So we have to check now. See, inside a route map it is already permit, right? It is already permit, which means that it is not, I mean the prefixes are not denied by the route map, which means that prefixes would be denied by community list filter. Now you check it out, show IP community list. Yes, deny 10. All those prefixes which are coming with community 10 are denied by it, right? So now you see show run pipe section IP community list. I will show you that how can you edit your community list. Remember, you cannot edit your community list. You cannot. If you want to edit your community list, remove it completely and recreate it. So this time if you want to say permit here in place of deny, you do one thing, just copy both lines and paste it onto notepad, you see, right? And then remove it from your router. No IP community list, expand it and name was filter. I have removed it now. Do show IP community list. So there is no community list now. And now go to your notepad file and here in place of deny say permit, and then copy it and paste on R1. Right? And then say clear IP BGP star in, check it out, show IP BGP, fine, all of them are available now. These are the T-shoot tactics, right?
सर यहाँ देखने कोई पेन और पैड
है, बट ये तो मेरा है,
एक और तो नहीं
नहीं।
So in communities we are not mentioning any sequence. It's like by default it follows a sequence.
By default it will follow the sequence, right? There is no sequence number allocated to any list, I mean to any statement. You see show IP, sorry, show run pipe section IP community list. Check it out. That's why I said that you cannot edit it, because there is no sequence number allocated to any statement of the community list. This is the only reason.
So if you remove one line and add it, it will go down.
Exactly. Fine. So this is the way to use standard expanded community lists. So basically, with the help of community and community lists, you are matching your prefixes. After all, action was taken by route map only. I hope you have understood now these communities, right? The final action that you should know about the communities is, like for an example, you are receiving some prefixes, right? Let me do one thing. No route map name is, I think, can be right. Do show run pipe section router BGP. Let me remove it from the BGP configuration now. So router BGP 65500, say no, remove it, and of course to this as well, say no, and then say clear IP BGP start in. So see, show IP BGP, it is having all of the prefixes available in its BGP table now, right? Fine. So this time it is receiving like 103.0 with community 10 and 20, right? I want to replace this 10. I don't want to receive these prefixes with community 10, these 192 prefixes. I want to receive them with 20 only. I want to remove it. So it is also possible in communities, like if you are receiving some prefixes with some communities, right? And if you want to remove any specific community value from the received prefixes, right, you can achieve it. Fine. I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to do it for community 10. So I'll be saying IP community list, and let's say it is 10, right? And hello, fine. So IP community list 10, and then permit. Okay, both of them are same now. So let's take community list number as 15. And we wanted to match all those prefixes which are coming. I mean, we wanted to match community number 10. So I have matched. Fine. This time operation is quite different, right? This time I'm not gonna to perform route filtering or path manipulation. I just wanted to, remove this particular community value from received prefixes. So I'll be saying IP community list 15 permit 10, and then create one route map. Let's say route map name is com permit 10 set com list, that is 15. What does it mean? I have given only one statement under this route map. In route map, I have already said permit. I didn't match anything, which means match all is there. So all of them will be permitted. But if anyone is coming with community 10, it will be deleted. That's why I use set command, not match command, right? So this is set command now. Now you do one thing, router BGP 65500, say neighbor 150.1.5.1. Route map name is com, in which direction? In. Similarly, I will be applying it for neighbor R6 on R1, right? Say do clear IP BGP star in. Show IP BGP. All of them are still present, right? But if you look at now BGP table for 100.0, because they were coming with community 10, is there? 101 is there? 102 is there? However, 20 is still there. So you have removed only a specific value from the existing community list.
So if R1 was a route
Mhm.
reflector, it would send reflected routes with the shift of only 20.
Yes, that's the advantage of it. Right? I hope you people have understood this concept now. So this is all about the community lists and route filtering and all. I mean, this is enough to learn from communities now. After all, let's go for AS path list now. AS path list. Like you are having community list, similarly we are having AS path list, right? So what will I do? Router BGP 65500. I have to remove this one, and of course this one, do clear IPBGP star in, and no route map, that is COM, and no IP community list 15. And is there now any community list or IP community list? No. Yes, there is no IP community list expanded, and that is filter. Show IP community list. No. Show route map. Yes, there is no route map. Filter, right? Show route map. Is there nothing? Do clear IPBGP star in. Fine. Show IPBGP. It is receiving all of the prefixes, right? All of them are available. Now, AS path list is same as community list. Again, you will be using AS path list to match your prefixes. The only difference in between AS path list and community list is if you are creating community list, then it will be taking decision based on community values. But if you are creating AS path list, then it will be taking decision based on AS path list, AS values, right?
Yes, sir.
This is the only difference between AS path list and community list. Like we created community list, it was looking at the community values. If we create AS path list, then it will be looking at AS path number, AS path list, right? So let's create it now. And AS path list can be created with the help of regular expressions only, right? So let's create it. IP AS path access list. You understand? And then you can take any number in between 1 to 500. Let's say I have taken number 10. Permit, deny. So what do you want? So let's perform route filtering first. I want to filter all those prefixes which are having AS number 21545 in their AS path list. So I want to deny them, right? So I'll be saying deny all of them which are having 21545 anywhere in AS path list. So I will be saying underscore 21545 and once again underscore. Anywhere in the beginning of the line, in the end of the line, in the middle of the line, wherever it will be having 21545, it will be denied by this statement, right? Then you have to allow all others. So IPS path access list 10 permit dot asterisk, permit any other, all others, right? Then after it, you go to router BGP 65500. You say neighbor 150.1.5.1 filter list, and in filter list you can directly call your AS path list. You don't require to call route map. So filter list and then AS path list number was, then in which direction? In. Similarly, you can apply it for 6. Now say do clear IPBGP star in. Do show IPBGP. Does it have any prefix in its BGP table which is containing 21545 inside AS path list? It is having all those prefixes which are having 35500, 35500, 8127, but it does not have anything inside its BGP table which are containing AS 21545. Have you understood or not? If you remove All of them are present now. 21545, right? Is not it? And you can perform filtering in both directions with using this filter list, in inbound as well as in outbound. So in T-shoot you have to be very careful. You can configure it in any direction on any device, so that you won't be able to receive your prefixes, right? I hope you people have understood this point. So this is the uses of AS path list for route filtering. But apart from it, you can also use this AS path list to match your prefixes as well. Like this time, what will I do? No IPS path list. What? It was, I think, I created AS path list with. We don't have anything, right? If we want to perform path manipulation now, and let's say that for all those prefixes which are coming from AS8127, which are coming from 8127, for them its best path must be via R6, right? So I have to match all those prefixes based on AS path list, I mean based on AS path number. So I have to say IPS path access list. Let's say it is its list number is 1, right? I have to say permit to whom, which are starting with anything but ending with 8127, which means you have to take $. All those prefixes which are originated by AS8127, for them its best path must be via R6. So to do that, now create one route map. Let's say its route map name is what? Once again LP permit 10, match AS path, then AS path list number is what? 1. Set local preference is what? 200, right? Then to allow all others with default attributes, say permit 20. Then go to router BGP 65500, say neighbor 150.1.5.5.6.1. Route map name is LP, right? In which direction? Do clear IP BGP star in. Do show IP BGP. Check it out. Wow. Only for those prefixes which are originated from 8127, for them its local preference is now 200 via R6 and best path is via R6 itself. So in this way you can use AS path list. Right? So this is the way to perform route filtering, to perform path manipulation with the help of IP community list and of course IP AS path list. We have covered both of them now. And now we are going to perform route filtering with the help of like distribute list. With the help of route map we have already seen, right? With the help of filter list I have already configured that, right? So now the only thing which is left is what? Distribute list. And you know very well that inside the distribute list you can use either standard ACL, extended ACL or prefix list, right? Within the distribute list. However, here you are also having one feature, perform route filtering with the help of prefix list as well, and you can perform route filtering in both directions. Fine. So this time I'm gonna to remove it once again and to clear BGP starting. Say now say no route map with the name of LP and no IP. And you can look at here, show IP AS path access list. It will show you in this manner. Very small, right? But if you look at the running config, show run pipe/IP AS path, it will show you. Fine. So that's the point.
Anil Kumar.
So this is that was the uses of AS path list and community list and like all these things. Let's go for route filtering now. And to perform route filtering, once again I'm on R1. Show IP BGP, so it is receiving all the prefixes, right? So let's say I want to filter like 50s prefixes, not 50s actually. Let's say I'm gonna filter hundreds prefixes, all of the hundreds prefixes, with the help of prefix list. First of all, I'll teach you that how can you perform route filtering with the help of prefix list. So I want to filter all incoming prefixes, right? Because if you are filtering incoming prefixes, then your direction will be in, and if you want to filter outgoing prefixes, then its direction would be out, right? So now you say IP prefix list, and a prefix list name is NB, and deny, right? I want to filter them. So which one? 100.1.0.0/22, you understand, and greater than equal to 24, less than equal to 24, right? IP prefix list NB permit 0.0.0/0 less than equal to 32. Right? And you see now router BGP 65500. There are two things. Either you can directly say distribute list, prefix list. Name was in which direction? But this time it will be applicable for all neighbors. You see, do show IP BGP star in. Sorry. Do clear. Do show IP BGP. Check it out. All of them gone. Hundreds prefixes from all neighbors. So remember that if you are applying distribute list in this manner without specifying your neighbor, it will be applicable for all neighbors. Here you cannot call your interface. Yes, there is. You can call your interface, right? Then you can also allocate your distribute list per neighbor as well, right? You see neighbor 150.1.5.1 distribute list. But the point is, if you are configuring distribute list per neighbor, then there is no option of prefix list. Inside distribute list, you cannot call prefix list. For prefix list, it is very simple. Do not call prefix list. Distribute list. Say directly. And then its name was NB, right? Yes, NB. In which direction? In, or both directions are available. In. That's it. So even you don't require to call your distribute list per neighbor, because if you are calling distribute list per neighbor basis, then there is no option of configuring prefix list. You will be configuring prefix list directly per neighbor basis, right? Similarly, you can apply it for .6.1. Say do clear IP BGP star in. Say do show IP BGP. Is there any hundreds prefix now? So in this manner, you can perform route filtering with the help of prefix list. You can directly configure your prefix list per neighbor basis. Hope you are understanding all these things. So this is that how can we perform route filtering with the help of. You could also use this prefix list along with route maps. In route map, with using route map, you can perform route filtering, right? You can match your prefixes with the help of this prefix list, and then further you can filter them with the help of route map. So it's same as like you used route map along with AS path list and community list. Now remove it. Say do clear IP BGP star and do show IP BGP. Check it out. All of them are present once again. Right? Then we can also perform route filtering with the help of standard ACL. Is it required for me to perform route filtering with the help of standard ACL? Of course, you people must be capable to perform route filtering with the help of standard ACL by yourself. Okay. Now, if you are performing route filtering with the help of standard ACL. Now, standard ACL can be called within distribute list only. And of course, you can configure distribute list globally or per neighbor basis as well. So it will be depending on you that how do you want to configure it, right? Then finally, I'll let you know that how to perform route filtering with the help of extended ACL. And here In BGP, uses of extended ACL is quite different from other routing protocols. In BGP, uses of extended ACL is quite different from other routing protocols. Here in BGP, extended ACL is same as prefix list. Like you can perform filtering, like okay, all those prefixes must get filtered out, which belongs to this particular subnet, which are learned on /27 to 29. That is also you can achieve it with the help of extended ACL. That is possible in BGP, right? So I'm going to do that now. Let's say that I want to filter 192's prefixes, all of them, right, with the help of extended ACL now, right? So for doing that, I have to create access list 101 deny. To whom? IP 192.168. You understand? 100.0 and all the prefixes, right? So /22, right? /22. So I'll be saying 0.0.3. All the prefixes which are coming on /22, but are coming on /24. I mean all those prefixes which belongs to this range and coming on /24. So to tell that okay, they are coming on /24, type your subnet mask now. /24 means this, and it must match exactly, right? It must exactly match. Then type is wildcard mask 0.0.245. This wildcard mask is for this subnet mask now, right? Press enter. Say access list 101 permit IP any. Say router BGP 65500. Say neighbor 150.1.5.1. Distribute list 101 in. Similarly, you can apply it for do clear IP BGP star in do show IP BGP. Check it out. All of them have gone. So remember, in extended ACL, in BGP you are going to use extended ACL for route filtering, right? In source, you will be calling your prefix. In destination, you will be calling your subnet mask. That is why I said that in BGP, extended ACL is same as prefix list. Even we can prove that. Let's do one thing. Let's create some, different loopbacks on Neo router. One dot what? From where I should start it? 100.1, right? And last I will be taking and loop back for let's take 101.1 and then let's on /32 182, right? Loop back 5. It will become now 5. Oh, what happened? Okay, how? Okay, I took 192. Oh my god, that's why it is overlapping with that. Loop back 4, and here I'll have to take, I want you to take 252. Loop back 5 and then 101.5, right? And loop back 6, then it is having, let's say, 9, right? And 2 4 8. Loop back 7 101 dot, tell me, 17, and 240 is enough, right? Loop back 8 33, right? That is going to be now 22. Loop back 9, and this is going to be 66 or 65, right? Whatever it is, and 182. Then loop back 10 and 101.129, and in last I can take 120, right? Go to BGP 8127, say ready CPU. You don't need to worry about that. All of them will be advertised into BGP. Fine. Go to R1, show IP BGP, check it out. On BT, yes, they are coming. On R1, check it out, right? Show IP route BGP, clear. Prefixes are coming on /29 and all and all and all, right? So on a filter, all these the prefixes which belongs to this range, you understand? 100 and 101, but only those prefixes which are coming on /26 and /27. On a filter, only those prefixes which are coming on /26 and 27 only. So it is really possible, or it is really easy to do it with the help of prefix list, but this time I'll be doing it with the help of extended ACL, right? So to do it, I want to filter only those prefixes which are coming on /26, which means, tell me, .192 and /26 and 27, right? 2 to 4. This is /27, right? Fine. So I will say, see, first three blocks must match, right? In last block, if you convert it into the binary, 192 will become 1, 1, and all others will remain 0. Fine. 2 to 4, 1, 1, 1, right? And then all others 0. So first bit is matching, which means wildcard mask will be must match 0, 0, right? Second must match, third must match, fourth must match, fifth must match, sixth is not matching because here 1, it is here 0, so you will take it 1. I'm calculating wildcard mask, right, according to the match by matching their bits, because we want to match only those prefixes which are coming on /26 and 27. So this bit is not matching, so you will be taking in wildcard mask 1, then it is what, 0, and it is also 0, must match because it is also matching in both, right? So finally wildcard mask in last octet will be, tell me, it is going to be now 64, right? So I can type it in this manner, 245.245.245.192 space, its wildcard mask will be 0.0.0.0 because first three must match, and in last it will be 64, right? So it will not match only third bit, and except that it will match all others. So only /26 and /27 will match with it, right? So let's go for extended ACL access list 110, but deny, sorry, right? Deny IP when 0.0.1.255, so that 100 and 101, both of them will come in it, right? Both of them will come in it, but I want to filter only those prefixes which are coming on /26 and /27. So for that, subnet mask 255, 192, and then wildcard mask is going to be 0.0.0.64, enter. Access list 110 permit IP any. Go to router BGP 65500, neighbor 150.1.5.1, and distribute list 110 in, and of course it is 6.1 distribute list 110 in inbound direction, right? So do clear IP BGP star in. You see, show IP route BGP. It has filtered 26, right?
Yes.
But not what? I think we did some mistakes over here. What? Oh, of course 32. So now say show IP access list and IP access list expanded, and that is 110, not 10, right? 10, and then I'll simply copy and paste. In place of 64 I'll make it 32, right? Now you see show IP access list, fine, and then say clear IP BGP star in. Now you see show IP route BGP. You show run pipe section router BGP. Check it out. Here, why we took this 128? We should have taken 192. Yes. In place of 128, here it must be 192, as we mentioned, right? As we calculated. That's it. This time let's have a look at access list first. So 100.0.0.0.0.1, so that 101 will come into it, fine. And this is the subnet mask, and this is what? Wildcard mask, fine. Clear IP BGP star in. Show IP route BGP. Done. 26 and 27. This is really complicated, right? It is looking really complicated. That is why they introduced this prefix list. So you will be using only and only prefix list. But in case if it is there, then you must be able to understand it that okay, we can also perform it with the help of extended ACR. But only in BGP. It is not possible to do it in EICRP or OSPF or whatever it is. Right? Is there any problem now? Fine, so it's done. So I have performed now route filtering with using all the available methods in BGP now, right? Then after it, do we have class tomorrow or this is? Let's start doing some advanced practicals of BGP, like not advanced actually, but it will be useful during migration, like if you are performing some migration in BGP, like here in place of AS8127, later on they decided to configure AS8000 or whatever it is, right? But But let's say that they want to change their AS number now. I mean, they are doing some migration over here. Now the problem is, like, if I change my AS, then I have to call to BT, British Telecom, to change my remote AS. Otherwise, neighborship will not come up, right? And you will call to BT, and they can ask you that, okay, give us 24 hours or 48 hours. Then only your neighborship will come up after 28 hours or 48 hours, right? So there will be an outage in your network for a long time, right? So to solve that problem, actually, like here, I will move on NEOC router, right? And router BGP 8127. You understand? So let me remove it. No, router BGP 8127, right? So I have removed this AS now. Neighborship will go down, and then I'll be saying router BGP. Let's say I'm running 8000, right? And then I said 80.1.1.1, and remote AS is running 35500. But you see that neighborship will never come up. Neighborship won't come up. Reason being that at the end of BT, remote AS is still configured as 8127, whereas here we are running 8000. So AS number will get mismatched. So that neighborship will never come up, and even it will start showing you that, okay, neighbor is in wrong AS. Like you can see, peer is in wrong AS. This notification message is received now, right, from there. So now how will it be possible to form neighborship? So to solve this problem, what can we do? That we can say neighbor 80.1.1. I know very well that for British, my AS is still as 8127. So I'll be saying neighbor 80.1.1.1, and then I'll say local AS. And in local AS, I'll specify my old AS, right? That is my 8127. You understand? So what does it mean? That for this particular neighbor, I'll still be using this AS 8127, not 8000. So this is another way to use multiple ASs on a single device, apart from configuration. Sometimes interviewer can ask you that, okay, is there any way to use multiple ASs on a single device? Is it possible to run multiple AS of BGP on a single device? Yes, it is, either with using configuration or with using this local AS. You see, now it will be running multiple ASs. It is already running 8000, but for this particular neighbor, it will be using now AS 8127. So this time this device is using multiple ASs, right? AS 8000 as well as 8127. See, neighborship has came up now, right? So IP BGP, it must receive all the prefixes coming from there. Yes, it has received from 80.1.1. Now inside this AS8 router BGP, it is using 8000, right? Say redistribute connected to advertise all the local prefixes, right? And you check it out. So IP BGP, yes, we have advertised them, and now it will be advertising them towards BT, and of course BT can advertise them towards all others. Now you see, so IP BGP, check it out, all of them are coming over here. So IP BGP, check it out, right?
Now it is carrying both AS 8127.
Yes, 8127 as well as 8000. Fine. And even if you move on NEOC router itself, check it out. It received it, but it is prepending 8127. However, 8127 doesn't exist physically anywhere, but it is prepending in all incoming updates on NEOC router. My local AS is what? 8127 for this neighbor, and it is prepending this 8127. That is incorrect. It should not prepend 8127. Why is it prepending? So for that purpose, router BGP 8000, and we configure this local AS keyword over here, and then you can say no prepend. Once you will configure this no prepend, then it will not prepend this 8127 in all incoming updates. See, in all incoming updates. So you see now, do show IP BGP, check it out. So if it is receiving these 50s, 100s prefixes, now it is not prepending 8127, right? And of course it should not have, it should have not prepended that 8127, because 8127 is running on this local device itself, right? So we can solve this problem by saying no prepend, right? But if you look at R1, in all outgoing updates, it is still prepending 8127 and 8000, both of them. In outgoing updates, See, in incoming updates, now it is not prepending 8127, right? But in outgoing updates, it is still prepending 8000 as well as 8127, both of them. However, because for this neighbor, we are not running 8000, we are running 8127, so it should prepend only 8127 in all outgoing updates, not 8000, right? So for that purpose, here on Neo router, you can configure this no prepend, and then after you can say replace AS. The uses of this replace AS keyword is that now it will prepend only 8127 in all outgoing updates. It will not prepend 8000, right? So now you can look at R1. Previously it was showing me 8127, 8000, both of them, but this time it will show me only 8127, not 8000. So basically, just wait for a moment. Basically, no prepend commands affects incoming updates, incoming routes, whereas replace AS will affect outgoing updates. So this time do show IP BGP, check it out. It does not have 8127 in it, right? In all incoming updates, and in outgoing updates you can look at BT itself, show IP BGP, check it out, 192.168 prefixes, and it is adding only 8127, not 8000. Previously it was prepending 8000 as well, right? But this time it is prepending 8127 only, because for this particular neighbor we are running 8127 only, right? But now the problem is, in case if BT changes its remote AS, again neighborship will go down. If BT changes remote AS, right? Because let's say that 48 hours expired, right? So they have spent 48 hours and now they have changed their remote AS and they have configured now 8000, and once again neighborship will go down and it won't come up automatically now, right? So to solve that problem, what can we say? At the end of Neo router itself, along with replace AS, like we configured replace AS, we can say dual AS, which means that for this neighbor we will be using both ASs now, 8000 as well as 8127. So if BT has configured its remote AS 8127, then also neighborship will remain up. And if they configured 8000, then also neighborship will come up automatically. This is the uses of dual AS keyword, right? However, I could explain a lot of things with using these keywords, like basically these things are there to prevent our network from routing loops, right? But I'm not gonna to explain all those things for you. You just need to know that, okay, this is the meaning by local AS, this is the no prepend, and this is, you know, like replace AS, and this is the uses of dual AS. So you just need to know only that. See, neighborship has came up now, right? And show IP BGP. It has received all the prefixes, no prependation, right? In outgoing updates, it will be prepending 8127 only, because for BT we are still using 8127, right? So IP BGP, check it out. So 8127 is coming. Yes, only 8127, right? Now I'm going to change this remote AS router BGP. It's using 35500, and then I'll be saying 80.1.1.10, and remote AS they have configured now, let's say 8000 in place of 8127. So neighborship will again go down. It will come up. You see, it has came up now, right? Is not it? It has changed remote AS, but neighborship has came up immediately. So there will not be any outage in your network. So basically, this local AS, no prepend, replace AS, dual, all these keywords will be used during migration in BGP, right? So this time you do one thing, go to BT. Previously it was prepending 8127, but this time it is using 8000, so it will be prepending only 8000 in outgoing updates, right? But if it is receiving anything, it is not going to prepend anything, either 8000 or 8127. You check it out, it is not prepending anything, because we are having direct neighborship with 35500, right? So this is the uses of all these commands. Do show history. I started from local AS, then I added this no prepend, then I added this replace AS along with no prepend, and then finally I added dual AS with replace AS. And there is no other keyword available in it now. Right? Is there anything else now in BGP which is left? So you see that in BGP it is also possible to configure router BGP 8000 and max, BGP max AS. They can configure this max AS limit. Let's say that they configured 1. Now whoever will come with more than 1 AS path inside AS path list will not be accepted by this router. And you can look at this. Show IP BGP. Check it out. Okay, do one thing. Say clear IP BGP star in. Show IP BGP. You see, only those prefixes are coming which are coming after crossing only 1 AS. So they can do it in T-shoot. And on neighbor, still it will show you that okay, it is advertising, because if you move on BT and say neighbor, show IP BGP neighbor 80.1.1.10 advertise route. So it is advertising all of them. You see, it is also advertising this one, right? It is advertising this one. It is advertising 50s prefixes, but it is giving only and only. I mean, over there we are accepting only 100s prefixes. You can look at here, we are having only 100s prefixes, nothing else, right? Just because of max AS. So you will simply require to change your max AS at that moment. Even you can look at this by looking at running config of BGP. Here it will show you that max AS limit is 1, right? So you will simply require to change it. Router BGP 655, sorry, it is using 8000. No max AS limit 1. Say clear IP BGP star in show IP BGP. Again, it have started to receive all the prefixes. Along with it, you can also configure this thing, router BGP 8000. These all are security features. Neighbor 80.1.1 maximum prefix. Let's say you configure 5. It will break neighborship. If you do not want to let it break neighborship, you see restart timeout, right? Down, neighborship is down due to max prefix. But you could say warning. So it will give you warning only once it will reach maximum limit, right? They can do it in T-shoot, so that your neighborship will not come up, and they will disable logging console, so that any log message will not be appear on the console of the device. So be careful with that, right? Neighborship will come up, right? So this is maximum prefix limit. Apart from that, you see disable connected check, we already done it. Route reflection, we are already done it. IBGP route reflector with clusters, we are already done with clusters, right? Configuration done, backdoor done, aggregation done, summary only done, suppress map done, unsuppress map done, ASAT done, attribute map done, communities, no advertise, no export, deleting done, conditional advertisement done, filtering with prefix list done, standard ACL, extended ACL done, maximum prefix done, default routing not done. Let's do it now. That how to originate a default route in BGP. It's very simple. Let's say from BT we want to advertise a default route towards NEOC router. So on BT we can simply say router BGP 35500. We can say neighbor, and it is 80.1.1.10 and default original. And then after you are also having route map, so that you can put conditional default routing, right? Route map, which means that you can put some conditions over there. If you do not use, then it will now it's going to advertise the default route towards this neighbor only. You will not be able to find this route, this default route in its local routing table, but you will find it in the routing table of NEOC router. Do show IP BGP, you must get it now. You see it has received default route from 80.1.1. So in this way you can advertise a default route in BGP. Remember, if you are having, let's say on BT, I have removed it now, fine. So it won't give any default route to its neighbor now. On NEOC router, I will not get this default now. You see, there is no default route now, right? So we don't have any default route available in the routing table of NEOC router. Then after it, let me do one thing. If you are having a default route, null 0, right? It is available in its local routing table now, and we decided to redistribute it into BGP now. Router BGP 8000. Say redistribute static. So it must redistribute this static default route, right? Do show IP BGP. Do show IP BGP. Check it out. No, because if it is redistributed, first of all, we must be able to get it in its local BGP table, right? Then only it can advertise that towards its neighbors. If you are redistributing anything into BGP, first of all, you must get it into its local BGP table. Because if it is not available in its local BGP table, then it is not possible to advertise that prefix towards its neighbor. I'm talking about in respect of redistributed prefixes, right? So this time it was not redistributed successfully. So remember that you cannot redistribute default route by default into BGP, same as OSPF. Like it was not possible over there to redistribute that. There was a command default information originate, right? Similarly, it is not possible to redistribute any default route into BGP, but it is possible by modifying its property. By default, we cannot redistribute, but if you want to redistribute, then in BGP do one thing, configure one command, BGP default default information originate. This command is needed. Default information originate, right? This command is mandatory. Then after you will see that your static default route will get redistributed now, and now you can look at its BGP table. You see it has been redistributed. Do not think that you will not require to perform redistribution after putting this command default information originate. No, it's not like that. Even after giving this command default information originate, you will still require to perform redistribution. But remember, by default you cannot redistribute a static default route into BGP. If you want to redistribute that, then you have to use this default information originate command into BGP. But this time it will be advertising it towards all neighbors. This is not per neighbor, right? If you want to advertise default route per neighbor basis, then you have to give that command that we used previously. Per neighbor basis, right? Neighbor default originate. Fine. Then after, is there anything else? Local AS done, replace AS done, private, remove private AS. Yes, that is also. अभी तो हैं 2-3 टॉपिक्स इसमें. चलो ठीक है, फिर नेक्स्ट क्लास में ही कर लेंगे इसको.